What's up guys? Welcome to another video. I've been getting a lot of questions in mainly my Instagram DMs lately about running watches, running shoes, running socks. So today I wanted to kind of go over that. So I've got my top 7 favorite running accessories. These are things that I really love lately, things that I really couldn't go without. I'm not going to waste you guys' time. Let's get right into the video. All right, so first things first, if I didn't have anything else in this video, this is what I would want, and it is a Garmin watch. So this is the Garmin FENIX 7 Sapphire Solar. I've had Garmin's since 2015, and I love staying with the same vendor. So there's multiple different vendors, Garmin, Coros, Nike. You guys are pretty familiar probably with all the running watches out there, but I'm able to look back to all of my runs, all of my workouts for the last almost 10 years now, right? 2015 to 2022, almost 2023. So a little less than 10 years, and I plan to stay with Garmin for a long time. So I will actually post something up here. That's my first run that I have on my Garmin. I can go all the way back. It's actually really easy in the Garmin Connect app to just search by oldest. So it's really fun to be able to look through all my runs when I ran cross country, after I graduated high school, before I joined the Navy, runs throughout the Navy, and up to now, just kind of where my fitness was. So I really love that. The FENIX 7, you definitely don't need to get this. This is the highest end watch they have, but this one does everything. I really like the Forerunner series as well. That one's really good and a lot more affordable. The thing I love about this though is the FENIX 7, the new Forerunner 955, and I believe maybe another watch, I'm not entirely sure. They have what's called multi-band GPS. So with my FENIX 6 that I had before, when I would run in the trails or run in around like tall buildings, sometimes the GPS would get messed up. And I actually went on a 10-mile run once, and Strava has a correct distance feature where it'll smooth out any of the discrepancies in the GPX file. And it was about a half a mile short. So, you know, I was kind of frustrated with that. They came out with this. What multi-band GPS is it'll connect to all of the satellites on 2 different frequencies. So if you aren't familiar, frequency, you have slower, longer waves and faster, shorter waves, and they reflect off of different things like buildings and trees differently. So by using multiple different bands for one satellite signal, the watch is able to smooth out some of the noise and be as accurate as possible. It's really the gold standard now. And since I run so much, I really wanted that accurate GPS. It also uses all 3 systems, so GPS, GLONASS, and Galileo. So GPS is the US satellites, and then GLONASS and Galileo are European and Russian. I don't remember which ones, but it picks the best satellites overhead. And it also has a touch screen, which I don't use a ton except for in maps. So I load courses. You can load courses into your Garmin, and it allows me to scroll around the map, zoom in, zoom out, see where I'm at. And you can also load workouts into the Garmin. So those are my favorite things about Garmin's. You know, I can load structured workouts in. So for Monday, coming up in a few days, I've got a 1,000-meter warm-up, 4 1,200-meter repeats with structured rest and a 1,000-meter cool-down. I can load all that in the Garmin. I get up at 4, get out the door and do my workout. I don't even have to think about it. I just do what the watch tells me. You can set intensity zones by heart rate, by pace. So it makes training really easy, especially if you're getting really into the weeds on heart rate, paces, stuff like that. The second thing is kind of an accessory. It is an accessory to the Garmin FENIX, and this is the Garmin HRM Pro Plus heart rate strap. You don't have to get this exact heart rate strap. You can get a polar heart rate strap. You can get any heart rate strap that you like, but I really recommend a heart rate strap. So the Garmin FENIX has an optical heart rate sensor at the bottom that I'll just take off and show you, which it works really well when you're at rest and when you're just walking around. You can see the optical heart rate sensor right there. And you know, it basically optically senses your heart rate through your skin, but when you're running, the watch is bouncing around and it might mess things up, running, lifting, whatever. So you can't really trust the heart rate from the optical heart rate sensors during workouts. So I really recommend the chest strap. It uses electrical sensors here. You put it around your chest, obviously under your shirt, and then hook it in. The HRM Pro Plus they just came out with, the reason I have this is because it's good for triathlon, so multi-sport. It can go in the ocean, and it's really easy to change the battery. You just twist this off. They have the HRM Pro, which is the same exact thing, except it's some screws, and I've heard about people changing the batteries, and when you unscrew it, it messes with the waterproofing, so then you can't wear it in the pool in the ocean. The HRM Pro Plus is supposed to fix that. That's why I got it. I haven't changed the battery yet, but hoping that that solves that problem so I never have to buy another heart rate strap again. So yeah, this is how you want to get the most accurate heart rate. That way you can do your heart rate workouts. You know, I zone 2 workouts. I do workouts based on heart rate a lot. So just earlier this week, I had a workout where it was 5 minutes at 140 average heart rate, and then a mile at 165 to 175 heart rate. And then that repeated, you know, it was heart rate intervals. So those are really great workouts, and definitely, even if you don't use heart rate, I would recommend the heart rate strap for zone 2. I would recommend you use heart rate for zone 2 easy runs just to make sure you don't go too hard. And third are the SAUCONY ENDORPHIN Speed 2s. These are my daily trainers. They just came out with the Speed 3s, so you can probably get the Speed 2s on sale if money is something, you know, you're concerned about. But these are my favorites. I've got 66.5 miles on these right now, and they have performed very well. So actually today I went on a Strava run, which it's the first time I've used a Strava course, and it took me way off course, or it was on the course, but I thought it was all road and it wasn't. There was gravel, there was fields, and I was worried about the foam, but the foam underneath actually held up really well. So these have a lighter foam than normal. So if you were to hold these up in a running store, they feel super light. The foam is very responsive. There's some in-depth videos online that you can check out of how responsive the foam is. And they have a nylon plate in them. So I'm sure you're familiar with carbon fiber plates for racing. Obviously I didn't want to wear a carbon fiber plate all the time and pay for a carbon fiber plated shoe to run in all the time. So the nylon plate isn't as stiff, but it gives a little bit more bounce than a regular running shoe. So these are my favorites. Obviously they won't work for everyone, but I would recommend if you're looking for a new pair of running shoes, go to a running store and just try them on at least. Super light, super responsive, super comfortable shoe. I just crushed 9.5 miles in these. I think the longest run I've done in them so far is a little over 10 miles. I haven't had them for a long time, but I plan on running in them as my daily trainer for a long time to come. Fourth are these FEETURES Elite running socks. These are probably the most comfortable running socks I have. They're a nylon spandex blend, super comfortable. I saw these in another video and I picked them up. They've got some extra padding under the arch of your foot. And these are my go-to on runs that are dry or under 10 miles. And then next, we've got these INJIINJI toe socks. So these are my go-to socks for wet runs or for runs longer than 10 to 12 miles. You know, they feel kind of weird. They look kind of weird. You know, each individual toe has its own cutout, you know, but this keeps your toes from rubbing together and blistering. So really big deal in the wet weather, obviously. And if you're doing really long runs, I know some ultra runners will actually lube up each toe when they put them in there. So super comfortable sock and material in general, but really the big difference is the toes. You know, blisters in the middle of a long endurance event, long run, super painful. Obviously I probably wouldn't wear these for a triathlon because they take a long time to put on. I would wear, you know, just a regular sock, but you know, if you can reduce blisters in training, might as well. Even in, like, if you're doing an ultra marathon, you know, these are big in the ultra community. So I'm sure some of you have already heard about these, but I love these. I actually do have some of their longer socks too for my boots. If I have to go work in, you know, a day where it's wet or where I know I'm gonna be walking a lot, I will throw those on as well. And these last two are really for people that are running longer distances. So first I have this carb electrolyte mix that I drink. It's G1M Sport from BPN. So they have other companies as well. There's Tailwind, there's UCAN, took me a minute. There's UCAN and there's a few others, but I've tried those and just personally, none of them agreed with my gut. I always started to cramp or just feel super sick on some of my longer runs when I'd used it. G1M Sport doesn't do that for me. It completely agrees with my stomach. I use this on long bikes. I use this on long runs. I'll even use this as a pre-workout fuel just to get some, especially in the summer, some electrolytes and carbs in before a run. For instance, if I'm running right after work, sometimes I'll drink this a few hours before, you know, to an hour before. But sits super well. I'll have this in the mornings as well before a workout because you want to get some carbs in before a run, especially a longer run in the morning, and some electrolytes. But sometimes you don't want to eat a lot, right? Like I said, I get up at 4 to go run before work. So this is a staple in my training, definitely. And lastly, the SALOMON Advanced Skin 12 running vest. I use this for trail runs. I use this for long runs on the road if I need to carry fuel, and I use this for really hot days because you can carry a good amount of water. So it's got two 500 milliliter bottles in the front here, And you can also put a bladder in the back. I really like the bottles in the front because when you're running, you're moving forward, so the weight of the water is kind of on your front versus a hydration pack on your back, kind of pulling you back. Obviously, if you need more water than this, you just use both, and hopefully it somewhat cancels itself out. But this thing has a ton of room, so you've got the 2 storage areas in the front, and then for the bottles, they go all the way down, so I'll pull a bottle out for you to see it. So there is one bottle. They're collapsible, so as you drink, it collapses so it doesn't slosh around. And then you've got a big zipper on both sides. So I'm gonna show you one side. Both sides are mirrored. Big zipper that goes, you know, I can get my whole hand in there. And then behind the zipper, you've got this pouch that goes way down as well. And you've actually got a little storage thing for your goos and stuff. That way, after you eat them, you can put the trash in here so it doesn't get the rest of your vest sticky. You got some kidney storage that is about the size of my hand down to my wrist. And then the big thing is you've got the huge back storage. I mean, I carry toilet paper here for my trail runs, just in case, and some bug spray. But, I mean, it's absolutely huge. There's videos online, you can fit so much in here. So it's the Salomon Advanced Skin 12 because it's got 12 liters of storage. And then there's all these elastic pieces that you can tighten down the back. And then the front clips with elastic, so you can adjust it to your liking. You can see the adjuster here, and then here's the elastic, and it just clips in. You can move these clips up and down the vest. So super comfortable, actually. I've tried a few other vests. This is the most comfortable one that I have found. And it's super simple to carry a lot of fuel in this. So this is a staple for you if you've got any long runs coming up, you know, if you're doing an ultra marathon or if you're training in the heat and you need to carry a lot of water, because you can only carry, right, 2 bottles on your hands or around your waist. This gives you 1,000 mils in the front. You can carry up to 2 liters in the back. I think maybe 1.75 liters in the back. So that's a good amount of water. I'll typically have 1 bottle pure water and 1 bottle electrolytes. That way I can switch back and forth as I see fit. I hope this video helped you. I hope these, accessories help you enjoy runs more, run a little bit better, a little bit faster, and a little bit farther. I will see you in the next video.